Hello, so your child is grown up now. He or she has become a teenager. Isn't it a new experience for you? Exciting experience for you? I can understand it's also a challenging experience because teenagers are different from children and they need different type of management. You have to do lot of adjustment as per your own child, and also you have to have lot of patience now because he or she is not going to do whatever you tell the child to do because they are finding their own identity now. They are an individual. So when we talk about the teenagers, you are also thinking of how they are finding their new interests, new hobbies, interest in different areas, in different subjects now, and if they want you to support them, all the teenagers. When we are talking about teenagers, different parents have different objectives and different aspirations and expectations from their children. But one thing is very common in all the parents, and that is every parent wants the child to be confident and have a bright future. Am I right? Of course, you also have the same aspiration and same expectation. So I'm going to talk about practical tips to you which can help your child to achieve that so that your child becomes confident and you ensure a bright future for your child. So the first thing is selection of high school. Your child is teenager, has already passed the middle school now and is going to a higher education. He or she might be continuing in the same school for higher classes, or might be shifting to another high school or college to attend higher classes. So you have to, if you have an option, of course, you have to select the higher school. Where do you want to shift your child to? In that, what you have to keep in mind is the distance from the home. First thing, so that it is easy and convenient for the child to travel from home to the school. Second, you have to look for accessibility of the school, transport wise. And then you also have to see the accessibility of different areas of the school. So that means when you want to select the school, you have to start very early, maybe even 3 years before you plan to put your child in that school. You start working on selection of a high school. You will have a list of these schools, and then you have to shortlist them according to your expectations. Every year you might have to cancel one school, and slowly the list becomes smaller and smaller and shorter. When you are selecting the school, you also will pay attention to the different areas in the school, how accessible they are. Also, what type of school it is, what type of students are going to that particular school. It will be good if you can attend the information sessions. You know, some of the schools, they have information sessions, they organize that, and they also organize the school tour for the new admissions. So you should register yourself for that, attend the information sessions, find out about the school, find out about the background of the school and the type of the school and the type of education which is given over there. Also, at the same time, when there is an opportunity, attend the school tours. In the school tours, generally on a holiday, somebody from the staff will take you around to the school to show this is play area, this is hall, assembly hall, this is playground, and this is first aid room and all that. That will help you to understand how easy or how difficult it will be for your child to access that area if required. When you're trying to short the list and select the school, I recommend that you include your child also in the process. Take your child with you. Take your child around the school. Let the child have a tour with you. This will help the child to be oriented and prepared for the new school. At the same time, when you come back home, ask the feedback of the child, the opinion of the child, and take it seriously. Consider it. If the child has any concerns, don't ignore. Find out, are they real concern and what can you do about it? Ultimately, the child has to go to school, not you. Then second thing is meet the principal. When you meet the principal, please take an appointment and go. Don't just barge in. That gives very bad impression. When you take an appointment, meet the principal, talk to the principal about the hearing needs of your child, how your child is different from the other children, other students in the same school. You will come to know how supportive and how accessible the principal is, because ultimately principal is the head. Whatever the attitude of the principal is, it will spill over to the staff also. So try to find out if that principal is supportive. Then next is meet the staff. Find out who are the class teachers of these higher classes for your child. There are certain subject teachers and there are certain class teachers. Your child will spend more time with the class teacher. Therefore, you can't meet all the subject teachers and the class teachers. It's better you find out the class teachers and meet the class teachers. Again, find out how supportive they are, what is their attitude towards hearing differences, what is their attitude towards the children, the students, and how supportive they are, how open-minded they are to learn something new also. When you meet the staff, you will come to know the atmosphere and environment of the school also. Then think of the school experience, the background and the experience of the school. So what I mean is that, does the school have any experience of students who had hearing differences? If so, find out the contact number of those students and meet them separately to get an idea about the school and about their adjustment to the new environment, transition to the new school. Then also find out what are the extracurricular activities provided by the school to the students. What are the options of curricular activities? This way you will be able to judge whether your child, whatever your child's interest is, hobbies, talent is, do these activities satisfy that? Will your child be able to find an extracurricular activity of his or her interest? That will give you an idea. Size of the school is also very important. We generally go for big schools and big names, but there are certain big schools and certain small schools. Obviously, the big schools will have big classroom, small schools will have small classroom. Now, big classroom will have more students, small classroom will have less students. Now, you can make out which should be your preference. The small schools are more apt to get environmental and more conducive to learning environment. Big schools, your child might get, in big schools, your child might get lost. So consider that. Your child needs to go to a class where there are less students. If there are less students, your child will get more individual attention and will have to listen in less background noise. So considering all these configurations, I suggest that you select a small school rather than a big school. There are certain tough questions you should ask. You should find the answer to. You might have to ask these questions to the principal, to the staff, to the security, to the watchman, to the canteen. That you have to decide depending upon the question. What you have to find out is, what is the parent-staff communication? What is the mode of communication between the staff and the parents? How does the teacher send a message to a parent? And how can a parent send a message to the teacher? There will be different ways and different modes in different schools. You find which is more conducive to learning and accessibility. Another question you can ask is about PTA, Parent Teacher Association. If you want to become the member of PTA, what is the criteria, what is the procedure, how will you become the member, because it will help you to understand the school and help your child also. Another question you can ask is about students. What is the mode of communication between the students and the staff, amongst the students, amongst themselves? How does the school or the staff help your child to connect with other students? Are there any projects? Are there any teamworks where the child will have to connect with other students? What is the criteria of putting some students in one team? How do you select which child will go into what team? Also find out what are the extracurricular activities are available, what is their frequency, are the teachers trained, what is the option given to the students to join the extracurricular activities, on what basis are they given these access to these activities. That should be able to help your child to support once you know the information. Also, there can be tough questions which you can ask about transportation. If your child is going to travel by bus and the child by chance has missed the bus, what are the chances? What is the child supposed to do? You should find out all that. And if the child is sick, how do you inform the parents? And when you're asking about tough questions, also find out if there is any sort of policy or if there are any rules about bullying and ragging. There are certain senior students who will rag or who will bully the younger children. They might be in the same class. These typical hearing children might bully your child who has hearing differences and is looking different. So what is the school's attitude towards that? How does the school manage that bullying is also important. Last but not least, find out if you can have early access to the content of the syllabus, the vocabulary, the higher vocabulary, so that you can take the content and prepare your child for the classroom. When the child knows the new vocabulary, because you have already worked with the child at home, the child will be more confident in the classroom, in the school, to ask questions and answer questions. Also find out about seating, whether the school will allow an option to your child for seating in such a way that the child gets minimum background noise and gets a better listening environment. All these questions about even canteen, you can find out, can the child bring homemade food or the child has to eat in the canteen, and what is the system. All this will help you to understand the school as a whole and will help you how to support your child in this transition from lower school to higher school. Any questions? Get back to me. Thank you.